Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to analyze a brilliant game that was played recently and I will be asking you guys a lot of questions. Because I believe in active learning, I highly encourage you all to pause the video at different moments and think of the best move. And if anything is still unclear or if you have any comments, please let me know and I will respond to you guys in the comment section. In any case, I hope you all will enjoy the brilliant game that you all are about to see. Alright you guys, so today Shakhriyar Mamedyarov played a brilliant game with the white pieces against Anish Giri, and I'm gonna teach you guys how you can be a brilliant chess player. So Mamedyarov opened the game with the move d4, knight f6, knight c3, d5, and now the move bishop f4. So first question, what is this opening called? Does anyone know in the chat? How do you call this opening? Actually, Hans made a course on this. What is this called? It's the Jobava London, exactly. Alright, so e6 by Anish, knight b5. And this, by the way, e6 is also the move Hans played with the black piece against Christopher Yu. So we can trust that this has to be a very good move, because Hans made a course on it. So you should know what to do on the black side. Why is it called the Jobava London? Because Jobava popularized it. Alright, so black goes knight a6. The point is that the knight is kind of misplaced here. e3, bishop e7. h4 by Shak, short castles, knight f3. So we'll just go through the first couple of moves quickly. c6. I like the move h4 by Shak. He's showing aggressive intentions early on. Knight of c3. Now Anish played the move queen b6, attacking this pawn over here. And Shak played the move a3. Now, why do you guys think the move? Why do you guys think he played the move a3? What do you think he had in mind had Anish captured the pawn on b2? What was his idea? How? Trap queen. Okay, how? Knight a4. Exactly. Very good. Very good. If you take, there's knight a4, and the queen is trapped because there's no queen b4 and no queen a3. Excellent. So Anish played c5. Shakhriyar took. And now again, a question to you guys. How do you guys think Anish should recapture? What is your intuition? Do you think he should take with the queen or with the pawn? And also maybe try to give some reasoning as to what you guys think. Give me 1 second. Wait, adjusting something real quick. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, with the pawn, open a file. That makes a lot of sense. With pawn to prevent castling. With queen to prevent castling makes a lot of sense. White cannot castle. On the other hand, white has played the move h4, right? So white is sort of signaling that he wants to attack on the king side. But I like the thought process from you guys. I like the thought process. The best move would have been to take with the pawn to keep this attack on the pawn on b2. Right now, of course, you double your pawns, but you can potentially use the open file as well. But I think that the real reason why you want to take with the pawn is that now white has to make a move to respond to this. You don't quite want to go rook b1. You cannot go queenside castle anymore. Queen c1 is also not what you want to do. You also don't want to go b3. This weakens your structure. Now black can go, let's say, bishop d7, followed by this, and black has pressure along the c file. So b takes would have been the best move. But Anish takes with the queen. And now Shak goes for h5. Alright, so with the move h5, he wants to go h6 and weaken and give black a permanent hold on g7, right? There will always be ideas. There will always be checkmating ideas towards the black king. So Anish goes h6. Alright, now how do you guys think Shak followed up here? So our opponents played h6. We want to open up lines towards the enemy king. How do we follow up? What do we do here? We know we want to open up lines towards the king. And the move h6, this pawn over here, we can call it a hook. And very often you can use a hook to attack. Knight e5 is a move, but I like the suggestion by Dre. We have the move g4. Excellent. We want to go pawn g5, create contact with this hook over here, so then lines open up, right? That's why generally you want to keep your pawns back, because, again, white can use this pawn to open up lines. Alright, so the idea is to go g4. So Anish took. Okay, how do we follow up? We sacrifice the pawn. What should be our follow-up here? What do y'all think? Rook g1, perfect. We attack the knight. Okay. Now, let's say black goes knight f6. This is not a good move. What does white do here? Why is knight f6 not a good move? What should we do here as white? Bishop. No, not rook f1. We have the rook on the open g file. Bishop takes h6. Perfect. And white's already crushing. Right, our attack becomes way too strong here. If black takes to defend this, white can go knight e5, hit the knight, and there's just no way for black to defend. Right, if the knight moves, white is just crushing through on the king side. So Anish played the move f5. He wants to keep this knight on g4 to block the g file. Now, what did Shakhriyar Mamedyarov do here? Because you do want to crash through on the g file here. So what did he do? How can you try to get rid of this knight on g4? Because that's what you want. You want to use the g file as an avenue of attack. Well, you would like to play f3, but you can't. You cannot push the pawn. King e5. I think king e5 will be a difficult move. Knight h2 is an idea, but I don't like the fact that it's backwards. Knight e5, very good move, right. Because now black faces a difficult decision. If he takes, now we can take with the bishop, and we already have an attack on the pawn on g7, and we can follow it up with a quick queen f3, queen g3, and white has a very pleasant attack. No worries, I know you guys meant knight e5, I was just trolling you guys a little bit. Alright, so Anish captures on d4. Now, apparently the best move would have been queen takes, but Shaq goes pawn takes, also very logical. Alright, so pawn takes, bishop f6 by Anish, and here Shaq played an amazing move. Let's see if any of you guys in the chat can figure it out. What should white do here? How do we break through on the king side? What is the right way forward here with white? What should we do? Well, knight e2 doesn't do too much. Knight takes knight is a move, but the problem of knight takes knight is that now black takes. And the problem is, if we take the queen, black has a very strong response here. Does anyone see what black can do? What does black do in this position? Black to play. Why is this not good for white? e5, exactly, right. Hitting the bishop and attacking the queen. So white should not do this. Instead, as some of you guys have mentioned in the chat, Shaq goes rook takes g4. Takes. And the reason is he wants to keep this knight on e5, so the bishop on c8 stays locked in. Black also doesn't want to take here. Then white recaptures. Again, this bishop over here gets super strong. Also, all of a sudden, this queen is kind of outside, right? If you go, let's say, rook f7, I go queenside castles, followed by a quick rook to g1, and you just cannot defend. So Anish played the move b5. Alright, the move b5, his idea is to go b4, hit this knight. The a pawn is pinned, you cannot take as that hangs your rook, right? So he wants to create counterplay. Also, with the move b5, he can now go queen b7 on the next move, and at least defend on the 7 rank. But how did Shaq continue here? How did Shaq continue? This move is not wildly complicated, but continue the attack. Continue creating threats towards the black king. What do we do? Bishop takes h6. Perfect. Right. The pawn is pinned, of course, so black cannot take. Anish played queen b7 to defend. Now, what did Shakhriyar do here? How did he bring more pieces into the attack? Queenside castles. Perfect. Queenside castles. And now Anish played the move a5. He wants to go b4 and create counterplay on the queenside. But here, Mamedyarov played an amazing move. The sequence of moves here he unleashes here is truly incredible. But does anyone have an idea? Now, I'll give you guys a hint. You want to break through on the king side. And again, the queen is a very important defender in many cases. If you go bishop takes g7, black takes to the queen, and it's perfectly safe. The queen does a very good defensive job. So what can we do? What can we do here with white? Can you just take the pawn? Exactly. Rook g1 is a very good move. Rook g1, perfect. Yeah, it's very good. But Shakhriyar played the move knight takes b5. All right, he's sacrificing the knight. If black doesn't take, knight d6 is coming, and white brings in another attacker. So Anish decided to take it. Now, what was Shakhriyar's follow-up? What did he have in mind when sacrificing this knight? How do we follow up here? Why did we lure this queen away? Exactly, when bishop takes g7, black has to take. How do we follow up? h6, perfect, we're threatening a checkmate. But black goes rook a7, right in defense. Now, what did Shak have in mind here? How do we continue the attack? Continue creating threats towards the black king. Well, I mean, if you go h7, black takes, and he runs away. Because let's say you give a check and go queen h5, you're threatening a checkmate here, black can take here. And e8 is defended and the king runs. So that doesn't work. But Shak played the move rook h1. Now, question to you guys. What is the threat behind rook h1? What is the threat? If white gets another move, let's say, what does he do? So let's say black goes here. What is the threat? h7 check, perfect. And knight g6 checkmate, excellent. So Anish played the move rook takes f2. All right. So what do we do here? How do we follow up? How do we continue our attack? You guys have been in very good shape today. How do we follow up? Exactly, we push, we give a check, excellent, right? Because the king's still gonna go here, because we go knight g6 checkmate. So Anish went to f8. Now queening would have also been very strong, but Shak here unleashed an amazing move. And I think it's been mentioned by one of you guys in the chat. Shak here goes for the move queen takes g7. Now, the idea is that if black takes, we go h8, and it's a very pretty checkmate. The rook protects the queen, and the knight takes away these squares. So black took with the rook, h8 queen. And, okay, if the king moves, you take here, and white is winning, because you've regained the material, and you still have a crushing attack. Now, what happens after the move rook g6? How do we follow up here? How do we continue our attack? What is the right way forward? Knight g6, excellent. Give check here. Now Anish went to e8. What happens if black goes to f7? How do we follow up here? We don't want to let black escape. Rook h7 check, perfect. Black takes. And now? And now queen takes g8 check. Exactly. And after king f5, we can go rook f7. At the very least, we are regaining the rook, but we just have a checkmating attack, starting with queen g4. And black is absolutely busted. So Anish played the move king to e8. Now white took. He played knight e5 check. And after king d6, he played the move knight at d3, and Shakhriyar won. He could have actually also captured his bishop over here. Black is a check. But black is running out of checks very quickly. I guess you can take also king d2 is good, but again, knight d3 is perfectly fine. You hit the rook, this bishop is still under attack, so black is losing a lot of material. Also, his king is wide open. So an amazing game by Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I also hope you guys learned a lot. And I just look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.